Hello and welcome in, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the dungeon. Hope you've all been having a nice day. I feel like I'm not quite going to have my A game today, but but it's time to upgrade our to continue working on upgrading our little one here. Like I said, we don't have my A game today, so why don't we get right into it? Here's what we designed. Here's what we designed last week. Not yesterday, like I accidentally put on. Like I accidentally put on the schedule. We're doing a little work. Admittedly, looking at it now, I think the face might be a little misaligned, but we can fix that. Hide the ruler. There we go. Her basic sketch, the construction sketch, is more or less done. Which means today we'll probably be getting on to actually doing the line work. That said, I'm just going to move these off to the side so that I can see them while I'm working. Yeah, looking at it, I think her mouth and eyes might be a little too low. But like I say, simple enough fix. Maybe move the eyes a little further apart as well. It's one of my weaknesses in art is I can get far too exact. I mean, her previous... Hang on, how did... Yeah, the alignment seems to be roughly more close to the outside than the inside. Or at the very least, it should be even between the outside and the inside. Use a kind of measurement tool. Also, we've got the measurement thing at the top there. Yeah, it definitely seems like it needs to go a bit further. At this point, I feel like I should be reaching over to measure with my fingers to get it a bit more exacting. But the microphone is in the way. Okay, that's low. It's starting to make it look a little... weird like that. Let's use this line as a measurement. It's not exact science, but it will keep them roughly aligned. Just keep that layer as a measurement layer. I mean, I can fix all this stuff once it's in live 2D, of course. There we go. That's looking a bit more like her when it's actually brought up to the line. When the eyes are centered rather than slightly below like a human head. As a human would usually have hair, like a hairline covering up all this. It looks a bit bare on Mimi. There you go, and bring the eyes slightly further up. There, that looks a bit more proper. That looks a bit more proper. See, there aren't any details I've missed, right? This is mostly just going to be the same model, although I'm going to give her a distinctly different tuft of hair compared to version 2 here. Also realizing version 2 was talking just then. So yeah, I think I've got everything lined up for the chest. I don't have the lid. The lid would use a lot of similar assets. I think I'm just going to make a couple assets for the chest and then duplicate them in live 2D to make everything else. To kind of save on file space. That way we can just kind of, because like at the top of the box will probably be a similar square plane to this area. But just if I put a deformer on it and then make it kind of squidge. So if you have, well, let's say 3 lines evenly, roughly. And then as it squidges, it would sort of like the lines would end up being a bit closer to the top, and then straight there, and then straight there, and then as it goes behind, it kind of squidges like that from its deformation to try and get the roundness of it. But I could probably still reuse whatever texture I use for down here to achieve that. See, we did a little shape planning. Maybe to do a little. Hang on a second. I just need to. I think I should probably cover this up before. It's nothing improper. I just I don't know how Twitch will feel about blood and gore. Just cover that corner up. There we go. Oops. Put the bucket away before I cause more problems. But yeah, yeah, we did a lot of shape research last time and came to the conclusion that we just needed shapes like this for the sides, and then we can have more square shapes for here for this side. So yeah, probably use the same texture as I use in the front as well for the sides in some respects as well. Just be really, there's a point where you're being a little too efficient to mimic. Also, I think I did this after stream, but I figured give her more crab-like legs for the chest. Easier than these tentacle type legs. They look more like they'll actually hold her. Oh, and I think look freakier when they'd come out. I don't know. Something about a crab leg just feels like it'd be freakier. No? Still, okay. Let me just. Nothing I've. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I missed. Anything else is just details that's going to wing it on the line work. When I do actual commissions, I should probably make some kind of reference sheet, but since this is my own thing, I can make it up as I go. What folder structure should I be using? I'm going to start with Mimi. Now I'm going to need to use the keyboard a lot more to actually keep this folder structure proper, aren't I? Because I'm going to have to separate everything out for what moves. What is the most? That's the part that slows things down the most. If I was just drawing this picture on one layer, it would be fine. But having everything separated out into proper layers. Did I make an action for this? And just highlights and shading. Highlights and shading would be. Let's just worry about lines for now. I mean, I could make an action that makes the lines, the base, the highlights, and the shading. I feel like it struggles if I try to actually make folders with it. So how does this one work? It renamed that folder. Oh no, wait, it made a new folder. Maybe I can make it. Hang on a second, I'm just add new auto action. How do I inspect an auto action? Yeah, new layer folder, new raster layer, change editing layer, change blending mode. Okay. Where's the create new auto action set? No. Start to record auto action. Okay, so record, make a new folder. Just call it a new part. Then we add a layer 1, which we'll call lines. Wait, if I undo, does that reverse the action? No, I think I was adding actions to that to that action I just tested. That's not good. Delete change layer name, delete vector layer name, new raster layer. Right, yeah, so it kind of starts from the bottom to the top, so I need to, yeah. Sorry, you can't see what you can't see which bit I'm working on right now. I don't think it'll show up even if I move it over, but I'm just in here creating new auto actions. Add auto action sets, apply, add new auto action to current auto action. I guess that works. Make new part. So I just delete this folder. Record folder. New part. Raster layer base. Raster layer shade. Change that to multiply. Layer highlight. Change that to add. Vector layer lines. Stop recording. And so if I then select here and go like that, I didn't quite make it in the right folder, but yeah, now we can easily make a new folder which has everything in it. That'll, with the number of new folders we'll have to make, that'll cut down time a little. Good news, your phone is catching fire in the stream. Oh, that's good. Also, hello, Corrupted Hunter. Hang on, that makes me curious now. I have to check. Yeah, okay, this stream, it lets you actually change the video quality to lower qualities. So I think your ability to have good quality beautiful is definitely down to whether the stream has been allowed to what's it called? Is it transcoding? Transcode into lower formats, and when it can't do that, your internet can't keep up, I guess. Which is a shame. Also, I didn't see that hydrate, but I am currently hydrating. Thank you. But yeah, with that quick action made, I can now go about this without having to reach over to the keyboard more as often. 720 is good on 5G, then source. I mean, we're currently streaming at 180. So, yeah. Yeah, I guess your internet just handles 720 better. I was tempted, back when I was having the internet troubles, I was tempted to lower it to 720, especially since I did that poll on what people would prefer, 720 or lower FPS, and I think about 80% out of everyone said they would prefer 60 FPS, although I've been doing 50 lately just for the make sure the bitrate stays a bit more stable, and 720p. But since the connection seems to be holding stable, I've just been leaving it at 180, 180/50. But if things had stayed unstable, I probably would have lowered it to that. Anyway, which part to start with? Like I say, your 60 FPS is not even tabbed in and just audio listening. I mean, you don't need 60 FPS for this particular stream. I shouldn't be zoomed in this close for it 200%. Keep it 100% mimic. You don't need to zoom in that close. I never did play Final Fantasy IX, and yet, well, I didn't play it very far, and yet I can still recognize this song from it. Well, it's a remix of that song, but you know. Damn it. Why am I struggling? You got reminded of old internet troubles? Yes. When you say old internet troubles, do you mean back like 10 years ago, or do you mean back like a few months ago? If you go back 10 years ago, 60 FPS was probably only starting getting new before you upgraded, so years. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, see, this is the thing that makes, I think, live 2D drawing a little trickier than regular drawing. It's sort of like that there, that's a single part. And now make a new folder. There you go. Make it look a bit scraggly. Still need to reach over to type out for this, which is a bit awkward because the wire for my tablet is on top of the keyboard. That's like ear, top, hair, tuft. Oh, you don't want the hair tuft. Is it in front or behind? Or do I render it in behind that ear, but in front of this ear? And both these ears are rendered in front of the head. Then the back ears are rendered behind the head. Oh, that'd probably be fine. That sounds fine. That sounds fine. I make this the ear back. Thing is, I technically only need to make one half the model because I can just copy the other half over. Which is what I did with this, with the little one down here in my hands. Can't remember if it's what I did with the little one standing right there. Oops, wrong brush. Ah, yes, the golden saucer theme. Which is probably based on the Final Fantasy VII theme. Made that game even less than Final Fantasy IX, strangely enough. Trying to get the entire side of the ear in one fell stroke. I am not succeeding. Yeah, close to the 7 motif. Which reminds me of the Final Fantasy XIV Gold Saucer. That's so close, but it felt jagged. And again, with the jaggedness on that lower corner. That looks pretty close. We'll roll with that. It's a little wider than it needed to be, but I'll also call that close enough. And then we connect it at the top. Just in case it peeks over the edge at any point. Shouldn't do, because I have full control over that, but... Okay, quick thoughts. How do I layer this? The eye at the top? Or no, I need a separate layer for the eye. One for the outside of the ear, and then I guess just one layer for the skin of the ear, which can be yeah, that can be deformed behind there to turn. You could use it as its own clipping layer so that it doesn't disappear around there. Doesn't need to have two things. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. Three layers for the ears. Well, 4 if you count the top one. But 3 of the ones I'm currently considering. Just add some little bits of hairs. Honestly, this part of Mimi is probably going to be very close to her original. Like, hang on, maybe I could put it on screen just down here. Actually, on the side. Be better. She's taller than she is wide, so there we go. Just have her peeking through there. I mean, actually, you guys can see her on screen. Don't really need the copy I was referencing for close-upness on the screen. You can see her there in the corner. Yeah, why do you need an extra reference for her? She is right there. I can't point that far down. You know where I'm trying to point. Admittedly, I'm not actually that sure on how to... But they have this tendency to draw little hairs like this, but what if I... No, that doesn't seem right. Can I do it like that? Does that make it look more like a more subtle type of extra hair? No. Now, I'm going to have to dig out some of that furry art. Some of that furry art I put as references. Where did I put that stuff? In my references folder, most likely. Like 8 pictures of bunny furries. Those little smooth ones. Okay, so a lot of them just have the tufts at the ends. When they stick out like that when you want it to be fluffy. Those ones are cute. I might go with that kind of look. Plus that. Okay. Going to keep that, but also just going to, on the ends of ears. Looks like I did something similar on her model, on her previous model, but let's give her a little more. And yes, since this is my model, I can be a bit more making this up as I go along. That's the fun of making my own things. But if this were someone else's, you would probably be planning this out a bit more in ahead of time. even out the line weights on the connections. If I actually get the right line weight. There we go. And then what's this other reference I have here? Yeah, okay, maybe this is a bit too extreme here. It's just like that, very, very small tuft. On a corner we have something here. Yeah, I don't think we need much more than that. Some more can go on the inside. Some of it seems to be, oh yeah, the inside of the ear would be pretty fluffy, wouldn't it? But it's got an eye in it, so it's going to be more skin than fluff. Like these references. Yeah, if I put the fluff under the ears. Wait, how did I draw it on? Oh, I gave you longer ears there. I didn't need to. Went further down. Like that. Okay. I may have forgotten what I was going. I'm going to keep that because it's still fine for what it is. I think I also wanted it to kind of, judging by this previous one, I wanted it to flop down a little more than it actually is. You know, back to the sketch a bit. That was a little too true to the source material. Looks like I wanted it to be more like that. We're gonna have to adjust the ear top. Bring back new parts. Sinewy, like the flesh, not so fluffy. I mean, the inside of the ear is going to be more like flesh because obviously the eye is going to be in there. You wouldn't want fluff in your eye now, would you? Okay, we can redraw that in a little bit. Now just to connect it up. Perfect up until the point of actually connecting with that line for some reason. There we go. Is that more like what I was? Kinda. I think I also just wanted it slightly more. There we go. And a bit more detail around the actual connection. Yeah. Kind of actually adds a bit of a hairstyle to it. Having that there. Maybe we could still have a bit of hair just up here, just above the eye. A bit of in the ear fluff. It's a shame when I tried to play Final Fantasy X-2 on stream, I just didn't get into it. Too much grinding. I felt self-conscious playing that. And again, that was early in my streaming career. I think also it was just a bit of a slow burn of the game. Bit of a slow burn of the game, and I was just sort of like, can we get some proper story, I guess. I never, even back before I streamed, I never got through it. With its grind, yeah. I guess maybe it was the grind. I remember I never even finished it when I had the opportunity to play it without streaming. So maybe it's not the streaming part that made me turn off it. Just maybe I'm just not as fond of the game. I like the idea of the game with the clove sphere system. And I definitely like the idea of getting more time to explore Final Fantasy X because that's my favourite Final Fantasy. With the second favourite being 8. Including the monster arena and getting all the spheres, yeah. Like, I think I saw a speed run of that game, and it involved leveling up the monsters you catch for that monster arena thing. And I'm just sort of like, I wanted to get into this game for leveling up the characters. I don't care about the monsters. Like, I like the monster arena in the original 10 because that was just unlocking more monsters to fight. But unlocking monsters to train, like Pokemon or whatever, it's sort of like, I didn't come here to play Pokemon. I came here to play Final Fantasy. Turns out you have to unlock it to fight Shinra to get your final sphere. Oh. Well, I guess I won't be reconsidering my decision to not stream it then. Maybe I should just play it by myself sometime when I feel like having a long RPG which to be fair is not often lately. I feel like we've had this exact conversation before on stream, but that's what happens when I listen to Final Fantasy music, I guess. I reminisce about all the ones I play. Have I touched 9? Yes. I can't remember how far I got in it. Probably only disc 1, thereabouts. I think I bought it on PC. It's probably in my Steam list even. But I put it down because of the long load times. I could probably find mods to solve that, but it honestly just thinking just, well, oh, I want to grind out this ability so that I can, yeah, so I can or just have this ability as a permanent thing, and then the game's just sort of like, okay, you're gonna have to wait for a whole minute before the next fight, and just sort of like, I came from Final Fantasy VIII where the fights happen almost instantly. I don't have time for this shit. Mod? Yeah, I suppose if I ever decide to get back to that game again, I will definitely consider looking for mods to speed up the loading. But the game itself seems fine. Having it just be too slow because of its old art, how it was made to accommodate better animations for the PS1 architecture. Shame. Sorry, remember? I think that was the reason, if I'm remembering right. That mod does help the battle load, but putting 60 FPS on the overworld zooms too fast for you. Yeah, I don't need to bring up the FPS. I just want to have the battles load quicker, then I'll be fine. Me, we're going to make you so fluffy. So fluffy you wouldn't even believe. That doesn't look... Maybe you're going to make your predecessor... Wait, isn't predecessor the person who came before them? No, wait, that's ancestor. Wait, the predecessor person who predates... Oh crap, I don't know. Now I'm getting confused by the terminology. guess predecessor is the person who comes after you. Which that suddenly doesn't make sense to me anymore, given that logic I was just saying just then. Ancestor is old, right? I mean, yes. I mean, I know that, but predecessor is. It sounds like it should be like the person who predates you, but it actually means the person who comes after you. And now I'm like, oh, what do these words mean? Either way, this isn't the ancestor or predecessor. This is just Mimi with a new. This is still the original Mimi with a new coat of paint. The pre is confusing, yeah. Yeah, the pre is confusing things that matter a little bit. Ear. Outer. Yeah. Yeah, we are going to make your ears so fluffy. In contrast to this one's ears being so soft, or so smooth and squidgy. It feels funny to me how it started as the thought that the Mimi in my hands would replace the Mimi out there, but realizing I prefer having it's now becoming a family of Mimis. They're all going to exist together instead of instead of replacing each other.
My lips are dry. 1 sec. Re-rorero, re-or-rori-rori-rorero.
You're not good, cool. I shall also have another drink. Making a new part. Making 2 new parts actually. Kakyoin Cherry Science. Oh, is that related to that JoJo thing? I do not like looking at that. Whenever people do that show that bit of the cherry in the tongue. I don't know, I have a strange aversion to round things in the mouth. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's down to the feel. But I just know seeing it makes me squeamish. Feeling it feels worse. Seeing it probably just reminds me of me how it feels. And thus the squeamish. So I guess after saying don't ask me why, I explained why. Tongue mimic on my back? But there's nothing round on it though, so everything's fine. you go, that feels better. A little too light on it. Okay. So only when it's licking? I mean, more it's like having anything round in your mouth or whatever. Which would also include the licking, yes, but I don't know. It's one of those weird sensory things for me. It just doesn't feel right. It makes you just feel when I even imagine it. It's a strange little aversion of mine. But it is a version all the same. I don't seem to have much control over it. You're right. I mean, yeah, it's worse actually feeling it on my own, but seeing it on another person's also makes me a little grossed out. Mm-hmm. Like my aversion to bugs makes more sense. Is this thing? We try to tilt sensing on this particular brush. I'm spending so much time on the ears for some reason. A little strange for you've heard stranger. Yeah. Like I feel like I've heard of someone who's afraid of water, but like not bodies of water, like literally just afraid of even a glass of water or something. I don't know if I'm pulling that out of my ass or not, but it feels like something I heard. Hydrophobic. Isn't that just when the water bounces off you? No, right. Right, I guess yeah. Well, it's got its own name, so I guess there's got to be someone out there with that problem. Poor soul. Probably have to. I wonder if it's a phobia of just water specifically, so they can have other liquids, or if it's any liquid. It could be the fear of running water, right? I can say, imagine being afraid of your own spit. That would be terrible. I'm not even making a joke here. Just sort of like, oh, that would suck. Hmm. So I want to put a little more 3Dness in this. I probably want to see. I'd want separate pupil. Would I want to separate? I guess I'd want to separate out the highlights as well. This actually makes a. Actually, wait. I mean, I guess I can use Resident Evil creatures as a mental reference. But I'm suddenly just thinking like this eye. I can see my eyes are in the white, so the entire thing is the eyeball. But this is like an eye embedded in flesh that has no way to turn. Oh, that's weird. I'm going to keep it because it's weird. But it just changes how I have to think about how the light shines off it. And do I make the shading a separate layer so it can kind of bend? The RE eyeball shoulder guy, yeah, although even he had white, the whites of the eye so the eye could turn. This is like a gem. A gem that is actually an eye in the center of the ears. Actually, no, that's the... Wait, hang on. What are the bits of the eyes called? The white is the sclera, the pupil is the black. Right? What does that make the coloured bit? The iris? Or was the iris the black bit? No, the pupil was definitely the black bit, so I guess it would be iris. That was not supposed to get caught by the microphone. So that's the iris. This one will be the pupil. When last we met, I was the pupil, but now I am the master. No, I was the student, but now I am the master. Star Wars quotes are getting in my head now. Maybe one day one of my mimics will overthrow me and will try to overthrow me and bust out that line. Speaking of eyes, do I have an aversion to eye contact? Not as such. I sort of like I have a habit of not making eye contact, but it's mostly just because it feels weird to be staring at someone in the eyes, but I wouldn't say I have an aversion to it. Oops, that went inside. So we have the people. Eye shade. Eye shine. Yeah, those will be 3 separate layers, and I don't need lines for them, so those are just preparatory layers. Ooh, I might need to actually take a long toilet trip, it feels. I haven't need to do this midstream in a while. Okay, yeah, we gotta go. I will be back in a few minutes. Sorry about that. Had to take a long break for that one. Be quick, hydrate. Nice thing is, since that's done, wash thy hands. Why? Who doesn't wash their hands after leaving the toilet? Who's out there leaving the toilet with stank hands? Yum, 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 yum. Yeah. When I bring this over to Live 2D, I can just copy that all over to there, so I don't need to bother making a second ear. Now for the head. Anyway, we don't need. That and there, just for easy organization right now. Some streamers a little too quick. It's possible to go to the toilet quickly and wash your hands properly. It only takes 20 seconds. I don't still wear a mask outside just to ignore. Just to ignore hand washing procedures. I should use this for drawing headlines a lot more. Ever since I learned about the symmetry. Just feels like such a good idea. That I should use more in the future. That works. I think. And that's very top heavy. I've been drawing the rest of you with rather bottom heavy faces. Perfectly round. We want some overflow here. I guess I'll just bring this hair tuft up a bit instead of worrying about trying to match things up. looking over the stream, looking at my two Mimis, and just sort of like, oh, heads that round. Don't remember me making your heads that round. Like, you're not supposed to make edits during the line work, but I think that's just when you're doing physical line work, and not when you're doing digital line work where you can touch it up for the roundest Mimi. I will add some fluff so she doesn't look so round, but something just feels. Maybe it's because I'm so used to drawing the human heads, which have a bit of a jaw. Whereas these ones are just nice and round. Nice rotund creatures. Honestly, that's probably fine, actually. What on earth is a Moib bounce? Moib. Meob bounce. What the hell's a meob? Mimi orb. Oh. We already have a bouncing Mimi number 2. That's the excite emote. Oh, I got it. Nah, needs to look thicker. If the fur looks too thin, then it looks scraggly as opposed to healthy. Morbing. Put Morbius and Mimi in the same room together. Who wins? Something about that shape of the heads is just. Very top heavy head. Maybe it's fine. Won't notice it as much once the ears are on. So where did this Mimi osmosis from? Same place every mimic osmosis is from. Cell divide? Well, what are children if not cell divisions of their parents? I mean, you create one cell and then it divides until it turns into a human. Why would mimics be much different? Yeah. Hmm. This will probably still be fine. Yeah, I'm overthinking this head shape. It's fine. You don't know you're a visual learner. Okay, fine. Fine. I'll show you. You want to see cell division? You want to see cell division? I'll give you cell division. Huh? You said you wanted to see cell division? Is that enough, or do you need to see it again? Huh? Huh? How's that? Is that enough cell division for you? Or do you need some more? I need a quicker way to paste these in. Also, judging by the layer numbers, I think there might.
Mimi, tremble in fear before us.
I think the one I put off screen last stream might still be off screen. There, you have now experienced cell division, or Mimi cell division, Mimi division. Actually, this looks like it's become more like multiplication. I just need to be able to randomize the directions they can look, but I can't do that. Although for them upside down, it does randomize it, kinda. Not really.
We're hungry. Make some pizza rolls, please.
Go make them yourselves. You're old enough by now. You can shapeshift up some thumbs. What are we doing here?
7 of us just got born.
Wait. Alright, yeah, because the one was already here, and then osmosis. Cell divided an extra 3, an extra 7. Well, then go have the first one make you a pizza. They're old enough; they should know how.
Shapeshift these.
Be careful, you little shits. Yeah, maybe you seem to be a bit little about outnumbered.
UUUWOH.
Are you all okay? Let's see. The eye should be simple. Might not even need to make that much. I'll give it a separate shine layer just so that I can add a bit of 3Dness to it. Other than that, it's just a simple. You're reminded of the Broly and Brain classroom bit from Lythero. And the yeah they did. Broly and Brain. I feel like I should be able to remember what bit this is. Which video was that from? The video boss raid. That was just Sonic characters. Oh. Yeah, never mind. We're at the point where Lythero has made so many videos I don't remember every bit of them. Do you ever feel like there might be a threatening aura from 8 plushies looking at you directly? I guess 9 actually. Forgetting about you. Yeah. The mouth. Not really. Sleep with 15. I assume they're not all staring directly at you though. Let's make the body and then we'll worry about the mouth later. Body will still be behind the ears, so... So... The body... How to make a bit of a... I think I should make the lines separate on some of these bits, so that things can disappear off the edge on the body. Yeah, we'll do that. Turn off the chest sketch. The face where you laid out, so yes, they are staring at you. Fair enough. My plushies are either all strewn about my room or being held. Or being held when I'm sleeping. I should turn the symmetry back on for this part. You can't hold spam to me to yap at you. Love these fucked up looking bears. They're rabbits. Look, they got long ears.
Who you calling bears?
You love the fucked up looking rabbits. They are very cute. That's why we're giving them an upgrade.
We're fucked.
What on earth made you all think you're fat? Also, thank you for the... I guess just call the whole thing the care package. Also, hi, Cereza. One of everything, yes, of course. They remind you of Plushy Dreadfuls. Now I need to look up what a Plushy Dreadful is. Quick. Plushy Dreadfuls. Images. Oh, little monster plushies. These are actually kind of cool. Those are all very neat. Oh, an autism spectrum rabbit. Actually, a lot of these are rabbits. Are they all rabbits? Huh. They're a series of plushies made by American McGee's company. And they're all made to support mental health organization, LGBTQ plus rights organizations, but they all have a dark gothic monster spin to their designs. All designs are made by people who have the conditions described by the plushies. Oh, that's all very nice. If I'd seen those earlier, I might have ended up basing everyone off of those, but instead I've based them off the various plushies I have around my room. And give them some monster features. This one is going to have a little chest to hang in. Time to have two mascots. Clearly, I mean, we've already got two versions. We've got the one I'm holding, which has tentacles for ears. And then we have the one I'm making, which is actually going to live inside of a mimic chest. Time to have three. Would you believe I have a third in the works? and time to have four. Yes, okay, yeah, you got me there. Wait, you put my glasses back. I did not notice you took them. I wanted to make this part separate, didn't I? Yeah, we have the lines. So let's just make... It didn't I forgot to turn on the butt. All right, since you've spent double the amount, I will do it for you. Did it sound like I said but? I said the bot. The bot that the mix it up bot that controls the removal actions and everything else. The bot needs booting. Okay, the bot's on now. Redeem should respond properly. Mix it back. Why'd you do escape attempt? You know it doesn't. It literally says on it, it only works in the just chatting screen. Ah. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, one of the memes is in the way. Hang on. There you go. You have fed a person to the mimics outside the dungeon. Or outside the throne room in the rest of the dungeon. I hope you're pleased with yourself. If we were in the no bloody mimic splash. I mean, it isn't set to happen automatically. that one's a manual thing. Okay. Oh, to have the symmetry on, it seems. Oh, that worked out on this occasion. I shouldn't forget that. Do I need some more? I don't think so. Just down there should be fine. Yeah, that bit's going to be covered by the chest for the most part anyway, so. Yeah, honestly, I want that to just be the line, so that would go on top. And then we do the lines, then we do this inner bit. Oops, nope. Oh, crap, damn it. I hit undo too many times and then accidentally tapped the brush and it lost that line I did. It's a shame. A decent line. I just wanted to erase something, not delete. There we go. Give them slightly different patterns. A little bit of differentiation. Okay, there we go. Do I want add some fluffiness to this part? I think maybe I do. I almost made that accidentally hit undo and lose the line mistake again. I was aiming for the eraser, not the undo button. I hit the wrong one, it goes right, and then because I think I'm going for eraser, it ends up removing. You know, I end up pressing it. It draws, and then I lose the line I made because I hit the undo button. And that'll do. I think that's all the symmetry I need done, so I'm just going to turn that symmetry ruler off before it causes more problems. Okay, this would be the body base. Body lines. Belly. You can't see you can't actually see the names of the layer names I'm giving it all. And then we just need the foot, the tentacle, and the arms. Or yeah. The tentacle might need the symmetry again. Of course. There was going to be something else, wasn't there? The little tentacle that attaches to the bottom of the chest. holds up Mimi. For the most part, you're not going to be able to see it. Really, I probably don't even need to be making it this extensive. But as it is, I could just... I mean, there's going to be some animations where Mimi is brought up out of the chest. And then you'll see the tentacle there, but you probably won't see the base. At the same time, I could make it so the chest disappears. And thus you can see Mimi. On the tentacle. Also, we're going to make the legs crab-like. I think I mentioned that earlier, didn't I? Feet will go behind. Again, nice simple shape. Don't need the symmetry on anymore. You can turn that off for proper now. Doing a personal voice check there. I've gotten better at holding conversations with my slightly higher register. But it does slip out of it from time to time. Still practicing the annotations. That is the main thing I need to get stronger at. Between playing Dark Souls and Helldivers and Crosscode and everything as well, this is a very relaxed stream, isn't it? Relaxed, low energy. Honestly, probably just what I needed. I was probably getting a little overwhelmed. Oh no, not overwhelmed, just over... What word am I looking for? I don't know what word I'm looking for right now. Was Lethal Company low energy? I'm pretty sure that's not most of the time. I mean, I certainly don't get as scared of it, but nowadays, especially last stream where I was trying to use my newfound knowledge of the mechanics to face the Bracken head on. Say hello to the Bracken. We did yell at Witch. I mean, Witch also yelled at us, so... It's a very yell at your friends type of game. I think I'm starting to understand what better makes the fur. If I don't make it. Didn't know we lose everything. I'm sure we wiped. Yeah, we've wiped before. We've definitely wiped before. At the same time, I can't. It does make. It is a bit strange that you lose everything, even though technically you're on the same ship. Even if you go by the it's a new crew assumption, it's like the new crew has been given an impossible quota, which I guess goes with the cruelty of the company, but no, no, there it is. These plushies are a subtle way for me to also learn how to draw furries. The better I draw their fur, the better I can potentially draw a future furry character. Expanding my options. Okay, so that's the arms, the legs, the rest of the body. The eyes. The ears. Along with various multiple layers within. You've got button eye, head base, yep. Anything I'm forgetting? Looks like, no, I think that's all good. I just need to do the mouth now. We can figure out the chest. Yeah. But first I need to take a medication break. Also looks like the ads has also started. So yes, we shall do medication break. That's the wrong break. Yes, we should do quickly. I didn't get to do the transition. I'll put words on stream on for you guys while I go do that for get my medication for 5 minutes. Huh. I wonder why there's no sound effects. They're on. Weird. Oh well. Back in a few minutes. Oops, did I take a little longer to come back than usual? We got onto a third round. Oh well, we can let it play out. Oops. First time being able to see a big word in while it's still a bit of a jumble. You both tried for that one, huh? Okay. It was worth a shot. Yeah, both of you had to take a shot at it. Ow. 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 Why is my hair hurting? Also, why am I sitting cross-legged? Well, with one leg crossed on the chair. It's not a healthy way to sit. I'm getting complacent with my sitting posture, if that's what I'm starting to do. You know, it's like sit like a vulture on your legs. No. I'd be too afraid of the chair breaking underneath me if I tried sitting like a vulture on this chair. An office chair is... I don't know, office chairs don't feel that's... They obviously feel designed to take your proper posture weight, but not your... Not the weight focused through your... You know, the weight... They feel like they're more having the weight spread out across it from your butt, rather than focused in your feet, being on your tippy toes. Oh, actually, we should... change this one to headlines and have a different head base. I'm not even adding any colour to them, but colour's the only thing that's going to be in them, but I'm making them ahead of time to know which Don't know which ones I need to make, which ones I need to fill out. Which bit first? I mean, if I just make a straight line. Then I can kind of shape it into this shape in live. I can shape it in live 2D. You don't know there's an English equivalent to it, but in German you have the saying "Zwei Dum Engendake," in Dengank, Gedanke, Gedanke, which means that two stupid people with the same thought. I think this can be applied to beautiful and you both using tits. Let's see. I think the saying is great minds think alike, but fools very differ. Fools rarely differ. Yeah, great minds think alike, but fools rarely differ. I mean, sure, you might be two clever people agreeing. You might also be two stupid people that have the same thoughts. So yes, I guess that would be the English equivalent of that. Yes. Mm. Outline. Yep, we can reshape that as we need. I definitely feel the hour of the day. On calmer streams like this. Oh, just the end of the album. That's why it went quiet. Tits aren't stupid. To be fair, I guess it would be a valid wait. It would be a valid word. But clearly there's some kind of filter on it. Also, I like how it's just become the meme thing. Everyone just has a heart nose. You are a true Mimi if you do not have a heart nose. Tits do lack the capacity to think. So they are stupid. I thought that was where you humans put the brain. Oh dear. Yeah, I suppose this is an example why it takes so long to apparently can't type correctly. You bite the tip, the fit. I mean, if the tit owner is into it, sure. You heard me. Stop making everything else. Mouth. Base, the base color. Mouth. Back. Neither of these need lines. Did I give either of you a tongue? On the inside? Hang on. Mimi number 2, open your mouth. I did not give her a tongue. I don't think. Oh wait, yes I did.
Ah.
You couldn't see it. Because obviously I have the stream smaller on that screen because it's all in OBS. There is one on V1 as well. Okay. Now calling them V1 and V2 and stuff, it's just sort of like, oh god, it's the Vespers. I shouldn't put any of you in a mech. Although I'm putting you in a chest, which we're going to drive around. You're going to be in a chest mech. we will replace the Vespers with. Why is it connecting to the chat? Okay, it's fine. I was afraid the stream was going to drop for a second there, but it's just reconnecting to the chat room for some reason. Oh, yum, yum. So yeah, next. The mech is going to crash and burn if the memes are taking control. Yeah, I mean, we had a Mimi during the XCOM stream, didn't we? And she was our destruction specialist, our explosive specialist. Which that doesn't tell you what these creatures are like. It's probably not a lot of things to tell you what they're like, but it certainly gives you an idea. She ate the C4. Well, Snake shouldn't have shaped it into something that looked tasty. Mimi saw the butterfly and she went for a bite. There's a tasty. You still have to finish seeing the finale of XCOM 2. I don't think I recorded XCOM 2. So you wouldn't be able to see the finale from when I played it. That VOD's long gone. I do want to play XCOM 2 War of the Chosen at some point, but there is, honest to God, so much to play. Not enough streams to play it, so it's going to have to wait a little longer. I assume you mean watching someone else's XCOM 2 ending? Unless you somehow got possession of my VOD. Which even I don't have possession of anymore. Because I was not recording back then. I need to re-record the intro to Crosscode so that I can upload my VODs to my channel. I still keep umming and erring about putting those up, but well, XCOM 2 have mods and permadeath viewers. We tried permadeath the first time. It did not end well. Although I could have a better chance at it nowadays, since I now know the game a bit better. Well, then this is off the table. Then, yeah. Yeah, that was before I started recording my streams. So I don't even have the VOD in my possession. XCOM 2 real percentile values. Too bad you fell asleep during the stream. Oh dear. Was that what happened? To be fair, we did go. It was because we were so close to the ending. We hit the 3-hour mark, and I ended up going for another, what is it, 2 or 3 hours, just to reach the ending, just because we were so close. In retrospect, I should have called it and done a final stream. Like I mentioned this on the social medias a little while ago, but I've just been rethinking. So I should stick to 3 hours, because a lot of the people who watch me, honestly, even people who aren't going to sleep, there's probably people who kind of maybe make plans to watch for the 3 hours, and then if I start going too far over, it's sort of like they have to go do their other things, and then they miss things because I went longer than planned. So it just feels like I should be sticking to my 3 hours for that reason, so I don't force people to have to choose between sticking around and whatever day plans they had. That's when they watch the VOD. I mean, I suppose so, but most people prefer to actually be around for the live experience. I know I do. Even when I don't actually plan on interacting, I prefer to watch the live experience instead of the VODs. I don't understand why. I mean, was I having a thought there? If I was, it's left already. I mean, it's probably also sensible with my sleep schedule and stuff, but I mean, that entire stream ended up going almost 3 hours over. It was a whole stream that I could have just done a different time. Mhm. Or not if you're like you and always forget to watch it till it's gone. Yeah, exactly. For the people that don't stick, I don't know, I think a lot of people just like to actually watch the live experience. Or they have this set time of, I'm going to watch during this specific time. And then they don't have the time to slot in watching the rest of it afterwards. So I don't know. It just feels more polite to everyone's time, including my own, to stick to the time slot I've set. And if I'm going to make a different time slot, let people know ahead of time. But yeah, I have so many VODs of things. I have no idea how to make clip compilations of things. Or I have no idea how to scan through something to find clips to make a compilation with. I definitely don't get enough clips to make a whole clip compilation of something. Oh, that reminds me. Not the clip compilation specifically, but it's talking about recording. After yesterday's fateful Helldiver disconnection, I ended up going back to try and solo that mission that we got disconnected on. It ended up being, I regret not recording it because the ending was rather tense, surrounded by multiple patrols of bots, hiding in a corner with a blizzard obscuring vision. Bots standing like 10 feet away from me, shooting in my general direction, but not having actually seen me yet. And then the mad dash for Pelican 1 after they landed. And somehow, despite it being on difficulty 6, actually getting out alive with mission complete on solo. On an escort people to the shuttle mission, no less. Secondary objectives done? Oh hell no. my entire mission that entire time was get in, get out, get it done, unlock difficulty 7. It was mostly a stealth mission. The only parts I really got exposed were when enemies started wandering into the escort area where I had to take them out, and at the extraction where I had to throw a lot of explosives to get everything out of my way in time. Also, the recording of a stream is rarely as good as the live experience or a designated video, except when the live is specifically meant to be recorded as a video. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're a lurker, you'd think there'd be no difference between watching a VOD and watching live. But even as someone who rarely, I think it's just when you remove the opportunity to add to the stream, to be able to interact with the stream, even if you don't actually end up interacting with the stream, when the opportunity isn't there, it changes the feel of watching it entirely. That's what it feels like. I think that's the feeling. Even if you don't take advantage of it, when you take out the opportunity of interaction, it changes the feel. Also, I've been talking this entire time and haven't been drawing. Hydrate, sure, yes. You think the major order should be redeemed soon? Fair enough. I'm not going to go back into the game for a little bit anyway, because we're doing this and streaming tomorrow. Next time we go into it might be Friday at the earliest. I might honestly try and do other things. I'll separate that one out. Let's separate all these out. Also, going to turn the symmetry back on for this. Did I have regrets of not? I mean, I think it was just because, I mean, I made them separate. I made them separate on my model because obviously they'll be rendering on different layers. Should I make them separate on this one? I'm not going to have them rendering on top like this one is. They're going to be hidden behind as everything is. Have I given everyone fangs? Okay, yeah, everyone does get fangs. I like fangs. I like really long fangs, and it's a snake thing, not a vampire thing. But at the same time,
Show them Teth.
okay, it doesn't look like V1 has fangs, or at least the very long fangs. Does this imply mimics are venomous? Maybe. We can be if we want to be. We bite you and drain the blood from you. We don't drink it. It's just how it's just what happens when you have a neck wound. Front teeth. Or the fangs are to catch prey so it can't get away once bitten. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's much more likely to be what it's be. Just sink it in real deep, you ain't escaping. Not that you'd want to escape my dungeon, would you? You like it here, don't you? Don't you? Also making this tongue straight so I can bend it later. The mistake I made with my tongue. I think that's the mistake I made with my tongue. No, never mind. I did make that one straight. Which tongue did I make? Or did I fix it earlier in the development? I think at some point I made the tongue bent and then realized that made things a bit more complicated. Rigging. It's easier, it's straight, then you can deform it bent. Oh no wait, it wasn't this tongue, it was this one. I realised how awkward it was having it pre-bent. For territory fights, they're not antlers.
Fat ass tongue stung by a bee.
All right, one of you's going into the sacrifice pit. Which one's it going to be? Is it you? Give me one of you. I'll make an example out of you. All right, it's going to be you. No way, not going to be you. It's going to be you. Into the pit with you. You don't need to escape. You know the main entrance is safe to exit through, unlike the exit that we said sacrifice. Talk shit, get put in the pit.
Wahoo.
Okay, there's tongue outer. Yeah, you can see. I hope you can see how a live 2D model can get complicated. Complicated when you have to separate all the parts out like this, figure what parts you need separated and all that. They crave violence even on their own. There could only be one. They will be weaned and they will be weaned off until the true Mimi is found. Or at least that's how they like to think it's going to go. Yeah, we just make 3 separate teeth. This is a mistake I made with my current model where I didn't quite separate out the teeth well enough. It made doing the corners a little awkward. Also, don't elephants use their tusks to fight for mate's territory as well? So why not use fangs for that? I mean, tusks are still on the outside. They're not part of the mouth. Yeah, that's just kissing at that point. If you're getting close enough to be bashing your fangs together, you're basically just kissing. Mm. Do mimics kiss each other? Sometimes, yes. But not for territorial disputes. Kissing violently is just biting. And if you're biting each other's mouths, you're probably tearing off each other's tongues. You can taste other people's mouths? Yes. Isn't that what usually happens when you make skin to skin contact with someone else's mouth? I did not draw any bottom teeth. I did not sketch any bottom teeth. Try being a skeleton writing scenes like that. I don't have skeleton characters, so problem solved. I'm a shape-shifting mimic. We don't even have bones. It's all cartilage. Oh look, these two mimic plushies are cute. Isn't that cute? These two are having a territorial dispute. They're trying to bite each other's tongues off. I think that could work. uh, maybe it could. Maybe it could. Reminds you a bit of the desert toad with the war cry. That sounds like an angry chewing toy. Don't put it anywhere. Put it near one of these little mimics. They'll run away. They'll abandon their territorial dispute and give it up to the toad. Battletoads from KI. Okay, that's all the teeth and such. All the line work. I think that might be all the line work necessary to complete Mimi's form.
If this keeps going, poor boss will be overrun by amphibians.
Oh dear. We've only established frogs as being the ones I'm scared of. We have... Well, I guess it's not an amphibian because it's a fish. We have a little fish. Little fish right here. It's a weird fucked up little fish, but it's a fish all the same. Swimming in our little stream of water. Ugh. Okay, I think this might be all the bits I need for this particular bit of Mimi, so maybe this is a good place to end things for today. I'll keep working on it. I'll make more lines of things next to the bits that need colour. Colour theory is my weakness. If we can get that part done before next stream, that'd be nice. Definitely some bits I need to research. Okay. Alright, Mimis. Time to find out which of you is the true Mimi. Into the blender with all of you. Here you go. Here's the real one. She's hiding that whole time. Why do you get the feeling this fish will try and adapt to parasitical lifestyle if given the chance? Because you're observant. Is the body going to ask for another toilet trip? There's going to be a problem. Okay, no. Looks like we're fine. Let's get this. Let's find someone to raid before
I
my
was inside
body
you
gets...
all along.
The real Mimi, the real Mimi's were the friends we made along the way. the memes of our heart. Moving on. Wait, Emily is playing Hades 2? Hades 2 beta testing. Who wants to see the Hades 2? We're going to raid Emily Barrow, who is currently doing Hades 2. Anyway, it appears I'm actually going to be forced to go use the toilet, so I may have to run. But yes, thank you all for coming to watch. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the further iterations of Mimi. And oh Jesus Christ, I'm actually going to have to go. Okay, bye bye.